This is a tale of my heartbreaking squandering of amazing talent. I had a great but kind of short career. My success in skiing included winning the X Games, becoming the first ever slopestyle world champion, winning the Dew Tour, and winning some World Cups. I'd say my biggest desire was really to be accepted and to feel respected. One thing that threw me off was that no medal and no amount of money could actually bring me the happiness that I was looking for. And when I was growing up, I thought that's what would bring it. I think my ski career was actually something that masked a lot of pain and things that I had neglected as a child and a teenager. And as my career kind of faded away, all that stuff came up and I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't have coping mechanisms. I had been kind of turned into a partier, and that's what stuck. That was my coping mechanism, and that took me all the way down, past rock bottom. Mind if I read some of my journal entries? I buried every single painful thing deep inside as I chased my dreams and eventually ended up achieving them. At the top of my mountain, I was as dark as the bottom of the ocean. My eyes told no story, my heart felt no glory. I numbed every victory and every loss as they were one and the same. I firmly believed that I did not deserve any of what I had worked so rigorously to earn, and through this belief, I threw it all away. Floating mindlessly where time needn't exist, where life and death were one and the same, where danger and destruction would collide as the world shrunk into a funnel, which tuned the mind's focus upon one demonic goal: get high or die trying. So after I missed the Sochi Olympics, I felt like I'd lost my purpose. One night in California, I had gotten drunk, I was on prescription drugs, and I stood on the edge of a cliff. And I didn't want to be alive anymore, or at least I didn't know why I was alive. And so I jumped. And then next thing you know, I'm in intensive care with brain bleeding and punctured lungs. I was still alive. I was in more pain than I was. And that's when they put the morphine in my drip. The second the morphine got into my bloodstream, it was like all the problems went away. The depression was gone, the pain was gone, physical, emotional. I felt like I could actually breathe again. The next few years of my life would get really rough. I ended up getting addicted to the worst drugs on the street, including heroin, crack, meth, Xanax, Oxycontin, fentanyl, ketamine, alcohol. Individually, been addicted to every single one of those things and more. Next thing you know, I was getting arrested, and it's like 3 years just flew by, and I was as broken as anyone could possibly imagine. And that was the biggest blessing in disguise that I've ever had in my life, because I was completely broken. The craziest part about addiction is the whole time I wasn't having fun and I didn't want to be on drugs. I was dependent completely. After I got arrested, it wasn't a choice anymore. I had this opportunity to get clean and change my life. That's what I decided to do. And it wasn't that easy. It's easy to say, but it took years to actually overcome all of the addictions, the addictive behaviors, the underlying patterns, beliefs, everything that I had neglected that drugs were numbing or covering. That's what I had to face head on, and this time completely sober. And I got to a point where I felt really confident. I even started competing in skiing again, got in the best shape of my life. Was doing really well. Then I got injured, and the next thing you know, I'm in the hospital asking them not to put opioids in my system. Then I got in an ambulance to potentially get spine surgery. And on the way down to Salt Lake, I felt the fentanyl hit my bloodstream again. And within the next month, I was fully addicted. And then 4 or 5 months later, I was crawling back into the hospital, begging them to get me into detox, because I had just lost another 5 months of my life and a lot more than that. Despite the fact that I had relapsed and I felt like a failure, like I was a fraud, and like I had let everyone down, I've changed my life around again, and I'm focused on the good things and continuing to walk forward. And it's not over yet. So for that, I'm really grateful.
I rediscovered my love for skiing, and it was critical for my recovery.
Connection, being connected to people, to places, and the things I love, like skiing, being outside, and seeing other people succeed. That's what makes me happy. And to truly feel a part of, especially after feeling so disconnected for so long, I think connection's the one thing that keeps me truly happy and focused on the good. They always say it's about the journey, not the destination. What is recovery? I think that answer will look different for everybody. So for me, I'm content and I love everything about life, and I never thought that I would see that day. So today, I'm happy, and I think that's success. Looking back on my life, I wouldn't change anything. Others might say I've squandered my talent, but to me, it feels like I've only built on it and become a better person. That's more important.
Mic drop.
Even now, today, I still struggle with truly believing in myself. I fear success and I fear failure, but I'm doing my best to stay positive and keep walking forward. If I were able to talk to my younger self and give him some advice, I'd say don't worry so much about what other people think of you. Focus on yourself. The right people will follow you regardless, and the right people will be there for you if you're there for yourself.